Tried to hold us back. We will be here forever. Do you understand?
Hey, it's Shan here. This week, I speak with Poppy Starr Olsen. Poppy is an absolute delight. That's all I'm going to say about that. She's well-spoken, super engaging, and she takes us on a journey through her life so far. Poppy talks about her current journey on the road to the Paris Olympics. She talks about her previous experience at the Tokyo Olympics and the interesting position she's found herself in as someone who's now considered somewhat of a veteran of women's competitive skateboarding at only 23 years old. We go into some depth about it, and Poppy was really keen to emphasize the importance of culture over competition, and she said it's something she really wants to instill in young skateboarders. She's inspired legions of new skateboarders over the years. She has a star quality about her. I could feel it. There's something like an X factor about her. Poppy is an artist. We talk about her art journey. Poppy talks about the time she split her head open at the Copenhagen Open. We go into some depth about her marketability and how that's evolved over the years as well. Super interesting. Absolutely loved it. We're joined by a mutual friend and past guest, Mr. Jeremy Rowling, who sits in as this week's co-host. So I hope you enjoy.
Destined to rock for eons. Time doesn't exist. Shut those cataracts, capture the virtualist. Now, let's get back to what makes things seem forever, whether it's unseen, unheard, or 16 again. Not a bother, fill this old man river, kill a floor that gives all. Coming upstream, the quiver. Sex style, easy rock, drop to the floor, lower to the earth, causes to cosmic shock.
Copenhagen Open, I've never been before, and I think I've wanted to go for like 10 years, I swear, because I see all my friends going and stuff, and it looks so sick. It's kind of just like a party, like everyone just like skates and has fun, and it's just like a big party. And so this was the first year I went, and I think it was actually the first like proper day of the event where they have like skate challenges like around the city, and it was at this big bowl. And I was skating with my friend Nicole on this vert ramp at this skate park, and they were having like a jam in the bowl, and it was kind of like this little like contest thing where they picked some people to jump in the bowl and have a skate, and I'd never skated the bowl before, and Nicole was like, come on, let's do it, I'm signing us off. And I was like, oh, okay, shit, I've never skated this, and it was like a huge bowl. And I remember I had like, it was like my second turn, it was just like straight into the jam, and I just did like a backside air, which I do all the time, and just like pulled out too much and basically face planted the ground, and just like kind of like was sitting there and then saw all this blood on my hands. And the exact same thing happened to me when I was 14. So it was kind of like this weird like deja vu, like, but yeah, it was pretty fun.
Did you like plug it?
I just pulled out a bit too much because I didn't really know the deep end, I think, and just kind of face planted when I got the ground.
Like trying to run down the tranny or onto your knees?
No, like I think I was just like leaning a bit too far forward and like went to knee slide, but then also like face planted.
Damn, you didn't get knocked out?
No.
That's a gnarly scar. Pretty gnarly. Like it looks like it's faded a little bit.
Yeah, I've got three different ones on my head now. You can't really see them.
All different events?
Yeah. Well, this one was falling down 2 stairs, and then this was the other one that I had skating, like that was exactly the same as the last one. But yeah,
falling down 2 stairs, like street skating?
No, like walking down 2 stairs.
Okay, so
yeah.
Sober?
Yes. I was younger. I was trying to hype myself up to go to my neighbor's party. And so I was like jumping up and down on these 2 stairs, like, come on, Poppy, you can do it. And then I just tripped, and I'm pretty sure I tripped down the stairs and then rolled and hit my head on a pot.
That's so random, huh?
Yeah. I have so many random scars and injuries and stuff. I feel like even with skating, like most of your injuries are just from doing the stupidest stuff.
That's it, right? Like I've been the most injured just when I'm like not trying anything hard because I'm just too relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
How interesting.
Yeah.
You said you've travelled a bit like recently. Was it for skating or was it more just for, recreational purposes?
No, this year it's definitely been more skating. Like I have this like app on my phone where I kind of track like the countries and where I've been in the year.
That's so rad.
And I think I've been in Australia for like, I don't know, maybe 3.5 months this year. Maybe.
That's a
like,
good year.
Not much, yeah. Maybe 2 months actually in Newcastle, like not much at all. But yeah, it's been pretty on the go. I've been to Europe like 3 times, but it's been super fun.
Do you have Paris Olympic dreams?
Yeah, for sure.
How are you travelling with it?
Good. Like most of the reason I've been traveling this year is for like the events leading to Paris, pretty much. Nice. And so yeah, Paris is definitely trying to go. It's really tricky. There's just like all these like 10-year-olds now doing crazy shit, but I'm still trying. I'm like one of the oldest people there. It's kind of weird, but it's still super fun.
For those listening, do you mind sharing your age?
Yeah, I'm 23, and they call me the veteran.
Veteran.
So, yeah.
I remember Renton Miller asked a little while ago, he's like, should they have a masters division for women's skating and what age? He was asking what age would it be? I'm thinking, wow. If you're
like
considered a veteran
up.
at 23, mate.
Yeah. That's so. If they did have a masters division for women, it would be like 20 up, I feel like.
Wow. At this stage.
Yeah. Like, because for, like, there's so, like, all these younger girls in there, they have no fear. Like, once you hit puberty, there's some, like, statistic, like, with women, your fear, like, grows by, like, 3 times or something, because your body's basically, like, kind of getting ready to be a woman and, like, be a mother and kind of, like, so it's, like, a lot different, but with men, it stays the same, I'm pretty sure. So... yeah, there's like all these like little 12-year-old girls now doing like 540s and stuff, and it's just like the level is crazy. Yeah.
Do you personally notice that difference in your mentality?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like even like with all my friends and stuff, like when we're skating too, we talk about it sometimes. Just like the older you get, the more like fear comes into it, and it's really annoying because you know you can do all this stuff and your body can do it, but it's just like I feel like with skating too, it's so much more mental, like especially for women too. But yeah, it's definitely tricky, but still doing it.
So you're an artist as well. You consider yourself an artist?
Yeah.
Do you find that helps with the mental aspect of your skating?
I think, yeah. I don't know. I don't know about like the mental aspect of skating, but it definitely helps me with skating in like lots of different ways. I feel like I was talking to someone about this the other day. It's kind of like a nice outlet to have because there's a lot of these like little comp kids or like skaters that they don't have anything else they want to do, like, or just skating's their sole purpose, which is sick, but like with skating, you're so injury prone. And I was talking to someone about this and they were like, it's so cool that you have art. And I have so many other hobbies as well. So like even when you get hurt, you have all these other outlets that you can go to and not just be bummed on like that you're missing out on skating. Like I'm like, when I get injured, I'm obviously like bummed that I can't skate, but I have so many other things as well that I wouldn't usually have time to do. So I think in mixing it up, like if, say, I'm going to a competition or something and I can just draw or like film or take photos or do other things as well, it kind of takes all your focus off like the intensity of like how these comps can be sometimes and stuff.
Do you mind if I ask, like, do you feel any intimidation from these younger girls coming through? Like, is there a feeling of intimidation? Like you're going to lose your position in this?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like sometimes I guess I haven't really like talked about it that much, but it is like a kind of weird situation because when I was like younger, I kind of like grew when I think maybe since the age of like 12 or something, I was kind of like placing pretty highly in a lot of like the competitions, and I was pretty like well known as like a female skater or a girl skater in Oz. So sometimes it is like it's definitely interesting like having all these younger girls come up, but it's so like sick because it would have been awesome to have that when I was younger. It's just different. But I think no, it's really cool. It's sick having like them all kind of like pushing you and stuff and seeing that they all have friends and other girls that they can skate with, because I didn't have like any girls that I got to skate with really for a couple years.
Do you ever feel inclined to take the position of like a mentor with some of these newer and younger girls?
Yeah, I think so. I think like after the Olympics too, I think that would be like down the track, it'd be something I'd be super like stoked to do. Actually at like my last comp in Rome, I went and saw one of those tarot reading card guys that I'd never been to one before. And he said that I'm going to be like a master or like a mentor or something. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But yeah, I think I like do like kind of unintentionally kind of mentor the younger girls and kids sometimes anyway. Like I find myself doing it a lot lately at the comps. And even like calling some of the kids out because they're kind of just bred into this now. And they're like not necessarily like there's a couple of them that haven't like fully started skating. Well, they've started skating because they loved it, but then they're like straight into comps and this whole new crazy world. So sometimes you've got to like call them out because they don't really know etiquette and like how it is, because they're just like pushed straight into it.
They got to enjoy it. You're going to help them enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like what are the values you want to instill in them? Like and by the way, I love that you said that.
Yeah, there's definitely a few. I think like the main thing is like probably just etiquette and being kind to people around you and having fun, which I guess you can't. I think the fun part comes down a lot to the parents and the coaches and just being in a like safe and positive environment, which kind of sucks that it isn't always the case now. I think like the introduction of skateboarding into the Olympics is so sick, but it also has like all these like kind of crazy changes now because there's all these parents and like random coaches from different countries that are picking kids out of different sports and then like putting them into skateboarding, and they're like, okay, you're going to be a skateboarder now. And so that is very different from anything that any of us skateboarders are used to, I guess.
You go, Jem.
Dude, talking about the enjoyment and not competing, for the wrong reasons. I remember when I first started watching you compete around 10 years ago, watching streams from America, and that you and all of your buddies that I wouldn't say you competed against, I'd say you competed with them, like Brighton, Jordan Barrett, the friendship that you guys had and just how much fun you seemed to have when you were supposed to be competing. You were just having the best time and skating really well. It was so cool. Like, I was almost like envious. Like, look at this crew, like hugging each other between runs, and that sort of came through in the Olympics too. And I think that moment when you carried one of your mates around, that
Masugu.
moment, that moment got a lot of attention. People got to realise what skaters are like, even through competition. That was pretty cool. But watching you guys being friends in competitions, like you don't normally see any kind of sporting event where you realise, shit, these dudes are really close. Like that. You don't see events like that, hey?
Yeah, I know, and that's like my favorite part, probably of the whole Olympics too, is that I guess like we didn't really think that much about it. We're all kind of just friends skating together because like most of the girls at the Olympics, we'd been skating together for like 5 to 10 years. So it was just like, and once we got our first runs down, it was just like another competition and we had so much fun with it. But, and then we got so much positive feedback from everyone, like about just how, I guess, like it was so different from any of the other sports anyone had seen, and the camaraderie between us, and like that you can actually be friends and support your competitors. I think it was just so new to everyone, but which was really sick. And I hope it kind of stays that way with skateboarding, because that's what it's really about. I think it's like, it's definitely going to change a little bit, but I think if like, well, I hope like I can kind of, I guess, mentor some of the kids, or like all of like, I guess the veterans can like help
20-year-old veterans.
Help the kids just like, I guess, do what we did and just stay friends and like keep skateboarding what it was always about, I guess.
Ooh, right.
I don't know.
Do you ever reflect upon like what you've done and think how many people you may have inspired to start skateboarding? Do you get told that a lot? Do you get told, I started skating because of you? By any like young kids?
Yeah, sometimes like some younger kids will like say that, or say that like they watched me at the Olympics and then they wanted to get a skateboard and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy. Like, it's not something that I think of like that often. I feel like I just kind of like, I don't know, most of the time I'm just like kind of skating and having fun, and I don't even think about like all the things that I've been lucky enough to do, or that's come from it, which I guess is like a positive, kind of just like staying true to myself and having fun skating. Like, I guess when like younger kids or anyone comes up to me and they're like a little bit starstruck, it makes me kind of a bit like starstruck in a weird way, because I just kind of think of myself as a skater, which I think a lot of us do as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's really healing to hear. Kieran Woolley was on the show. He's from Wollongong. Love him.
Yeah.
And he was talking about competing at the Tokyo Olympics without a crowd, and he really feeds off the crowd. That's why he knocked over the cameraman. That was like that was just an act of aggression. No, that was the best. It was an accident. He talks about that. But when you compete and when you're at Tokyo, like, how did you find that environment without a crowd? Was it just weird?
It was pretty weird. I think like we were told we weren't going to have any crowd though, and then so in my mind I was kind of ready for it to be pretty dead. But then there were like a couple different people from other sports and stuff, and like working in the different, I don't know, governing bodies or buildings or staff or whatever, that were coming and watching. And we actually had a couple people that were just spread out, but it was still like people were cheering and stuff. So, and I think maybe that's even could have been the reason that all the girls especially we were all hyping each other up so much, is because it was just such a different scenario. But like we had so much fun anyways.
So you still felt like you were still psyched when you were competing?
Yeah.
You weren't like, oh, this is just a bit, there's no vibe.
No, there was still like
there was a vibe.
People scattered in the crowds, and like the Aussies especially, we had a good group of Aussies watching us, and they were screaming too. I was screaming when I was in the crowd, like watching Keegan and Kieran as well. Like you definitely could hear people cheering for you.
But in terms of the experience, like, did you feel a little bit shortchanged?
Yeah, it definitely was different to most of the other, like, well, I guess it was like the Olympics. It was completely different, but like the competition, it was a bit different just because of like the crowds. There wasn't really many skaters in the crowd or anything, so it was a little bit different. But I still had, it was good.
So good.
Did other athletes come and watch the skate events?
There wasn't I feel like there wasn't too many athletes, maybe a couple, but it was we had really strict like COVID regulations. Yeah.
Were you allowed to go and watch other events?
No, I didn't get to see any events. Like it was really, really strict, but I was like, you kind of just put in different rooms at the Olympics, and I was in like the tennis room. So I was rooming with Sam Stozer.
Cool.
And
rad.
I don't even know if we were fully allowed to, but she was like off competing, and she was like, I want to come watch the skating. So like one day she like hopped on the skate bus and like came and watched my practice, and that was pretty funny. That was sick.
Great
yeah.
stuff. Did you have the cardboard bed?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was complaining about it, but I thought it was fine. I'm used to sleeping on couches and stuff.
What? Did I miss something?
What's the go with the cardboard bed?
What the?
So everyone had a bed basically made out of cardboard.
Like a frame?
The
Yeah.
box. Hey?
Yeah, and then it was like kind of like a little mat on the top. Like it wasn't the comfiest thing, but it wasn't like there definitely were a lot of complainers. I'm pretty sure they were put there because they were trying to minimize the spread of COVID as much as they could. And I don't think they wanted people having sex. So they had cardboard beds, maybe. I'm pretty sure that was the plan. So they would break or something. I don't know.
Wow. Wow, that's so random. So where did you grow up, Poppy? Like, where would you consider your hometown?
I grew up in Bondi, like right in the thick of Bondi. I grew up like probably like a 3-minute walk from the beach, like right there, and
Epic.
skating Bondi Bowl. Like that's literally where I learned how to skate. And yeah, and I moved to Newey like maybe 8 or 9 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like a long time, but it also feels like the other day. It's pretty crazy.
Right.
True.
Time's crazy like that. Like, how would you reflect on those early days in Bondi as a kid?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good memories?
Yeah, I loved Bondi growing up. It was so awesome being right by the beach, and I guess I kind of come from like a beach family as well, so I'd do like nippers every weekend, and I could just skate and go to the beach because the Bondi Bowl's on the beach pretty much, so you can just like swim or surf and then skate, and it was awesome.
Yeah. And you went to school there as well?
Yeah. I went to Bronte, which is the beach over from
next
public
beach.
school, and then Rose Bay, which is just up the hill.
Yeah, cool.
So,
And your parents worked in the city or in Bondi area?
Yeah, my dad worked in the city, and my mom was a jewelry designer, so she kind of just worked from home. And we had a pretty chaotic family, so she was kind of like working from home, but also taking care of me and my brother and sister as well.
And for those that don't know, like, are you the youngest, middle, oldest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've got a younger brother, Banjo, he's 18 months younger than me, but he's like 6'4" or something. He seems like the oldest. He's definitely like the most mature in the whole family. And then I've got my little sister, Kipling, and she's 17.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do they skate and into art as well?
Kip is really into art. My brother isn't so much. He's probably the one in the family that doesn't. I think we're all so artistic and creative, and Banjo and my dad kind of aren't so much. My dad loves cartooning, but Kip, she skated with me for a bit. She was actually really good. She could like drop in the bowl and carve around and stuff, and then she just kind of fell out of it. I don't know if it was because like she started going in little competitions and stuff, and it just wasn't for her, so it might have turned her off it or something. But she's really, really creative. Like she's just started trying to sketch. Sweet. That's her new thing. Like she's been sketching for like a couple months and is doing the craziest portraits. Like super cool.
Would you say it's your mum that got you into, experimenting with, different mediums and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my dad's really good at cartooning and he's always kind of done that stuff. And then my mom was a sculptor originally and then broke her back and started doing like jewelry design and painting and stuff. And so my dad would always kind of draw these big paintings and then my mum would paint them.
So you were just sort of born into it. Do you remember actually starting, or it just was always there?
Always there pretty much. Like I have there's like a painting my mum has that I did when I was like 12 months old, or just like kind of scribbly, pencily stuff like that. Like we've always had like a huge craft cupboard in our house or some sort of art room, like just been straight into it for as long as I can remember.
Would you say you're a good student at school?
Yeah.
When you were in primary school?
Yeah, I was pretty goody two-shoes.
Were you?
Yeah, my brother and my sister are very naughty.
Really?
Yeah, but I was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like to play by the rules?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
So what attracted you to skateboarding then?
It was literally my neighbor at the time, I think we were just walking around the beach, me and my mum and probably my brother and sister, and I was only 8, and we caught up with our neighbor and we were going the same direction home, and he had like this big skateboard on him. It was kind of like this fish-shaped huge thing with bright orange wheels, and I asked if I could try it, and he was talking to my mom or something, and I was just spending like 15 minutes trying to figure out this skateboard. I remember getting on it and like trying to tic-tac and stuff and just being obsessed with it. And by the time we had to go home, I like went to give it back to him and he's like, "No, you keep it."
Nice.
I was just like, "What? No way." And that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
And then what, like slowly started going down to the beach and the bowl and...
Yeah. I think there was like a little skate clinic one day. I had a coach when I was younger. His name was Hagen, and he ran this skate park called Monster Skate Park. And we heard about this little clinic that was like tiny little ramps and stuff, and they were doing some lessons or something. And I went down there, and I remember I tried to like jump off this little kicker that was like 10 centimeters or something. It was so small.
At Monster?
No, at Bondi. It was set up like
okay.
up near the skate park.
Yeah.
And I tried to do this for like, I think I tried it like 50 times.
Wow.
And I don't think I landed it, but he just, like Hagen came up to my mum and saw how much I like was invested in like trying to do it, that he said, you know, we've got this skate park out at Monster. We do like clinics and lessons and stuff. And then I started going to the skate park as well and kind of just evolved from there.
No way.
Yeah.
And then high school in Newcastle.
Yeah. Started off high school in Bondi, did like a bit of year 7.
Bondi High?
Rose Bay.
Gotcha.
So did a bit of year 7 and then decided I wanted to do distance ed so I could skate more. Did that for a bit, realized that I didn't actually like it that much. Right. And then went back to school in year 9 in Newey, and I was like, wow, distance ed actually made me kind of weird. Like my social skills, like I'm kind of weird. Like I can't really talk to kids and stuff. And so I was like, it was just so much more fun at school after doing it, I think. And I appreciated like school and friends a bit more, which is funny, but yeah.
So you were social at school?
Yeah.
So you did have a good social circle?
Yeah,
you weren't like one of those introverts that...
No.
Okay.
But like even my mum noticed it like because I did distance ed for like maybe a year or so. And like even she said that I was like kind of just not, I don't know, just a bit socially weird. Like talking to people, it was just different because I didn't go to school every day and mingle. And I really wanted to go to school when we moved to Newcastle. And it was just great. Like, yeah.
Do you mind if we talk about why you moved to Newcastle?
Yeah. So basically I can't remember what year it was. I was like 14, so maybe 2014 or 15. My parents divorced, and Bondi is like stupidly expensive. We moved there when it was cheap, and then just too expensive for like a single mum pretty much. So we were looking for somewhere else to live, and we really wanted to live by the beach because we've always kind of grown up in Bondi. And so we were looking at Newcastle because it's like great skate scene as well. But none of us wanted to move from Bondi. We were like, oh, we'll just like have a go. But we really didn't want to move. Like I remember my brother and sister and I were like, no, we'll get like a 1-bedroom apartment. We'll all just stay in there. We don't want to leave. And then like after like 6 months in Newey, it was just like awesome. Loved it.
You kind of just tried it out. Like just thought we'll try Newcastle out for 6 months and then...
Yeah.
Or did you just your mum made the decision?
Yeah, I think we all kind of did, but it just all sort of happened so quickly. It was probably more we thought we were going to try it out, but it probably was just set in stone. I don't know. I can't remember it very well, but I remember just really liking it.
Yeah, nice. Do you think like upon reflection, like it was like one of the best things that happened for you?
Yeah.
Like, do you think it actually helped your skating?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I loved Bondi Bowl and it was really sick, but I think it's really cool having a new local, and I really liked Bar Beach when I moved here because Bondi is really whippy and tight and steep, but I was like used to skating it and it was super fun, but bar is like completely different. It's a bit more mellow, and it was like easier to learn like different tricks and stuff. So yeah, I had heaps of fun.
Yeah. So you obviously love skating immediately. Like, at what point did you sort of start to think, hey, I do want to pursue this further in whatever form that may be, whether it's competitively or just maybe to get more exposure, things like that?
I don't really remember ever having like a snap realization. I think I kind of always just did it and saw where it took me. Kind of, I don't know, and just went with it. Like I started doing little competitions when I was little, and then my mum and dad were like, "Oh, she's actually she's kind of good at this," and they would start putting me in more competitions, and I just kind of went with it, and it was super fun, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Jeremy, have you been down to Sydney recently? Just probably talked about how like Monster had the little skate clinics, but have you seen what those skate clinics have grown into now?
I haven't seen what they've grown into. I remember Luxford used to travel around with some kickers and quarter pipes and rails and stuff, but I don't know what they're like now.
Well, just with the advent of all these amazing skate parks in Sydney, there's a whole bunch of different companies doing clinics and stuff.
Okay.
It was quite shocking for me recently. I didn't realise how much it had grown in that respect. Do you think skate coaching is something that you would ever transition into as a job?
I think so. I think currently right now I can see it like happening in my future, but I can't see it happening like permanently, just because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a skate coach full time. I feel like there's like so many other fun things to do, but I think it's definitely going to happen in my future, and I might get to that stage where I'm like, actually, no, this is really fun. I think like the idea, I don't know, I feel like a skate coach sounds kind of funny, but like
skate mate.
Yeah, mentor. I don't know. I think it's almost kind of not necessary, but I think it's kind of would be sick now that the Olympics is having this crazy turn on skateboarding. If we can have some like mentors or coaches that kind of, I don't know, like take you back to like the roots of skateboarding, keep it like fun, because there's so many parents out there now that are like just telling their kids to do stuff and have no idea what it's about. So I think if I can like, I don't know, maybe keep it fun for at least a couple kids, or like just keep them enjoying it, because skating's going to get really weird, I feel like. So yeah.
You could be like a skate culture coach.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You like that?
Culture coaching.
Yeah.
For the culture. See, I'm surprised to hear you say that. I mean, I don't know what my perception of you was, but I didn't think you would be saying that, because I think I have always pictured you as the competitive skater, primarily, obviously because you've been to things like the Olympics and X Games, and did you do the Do Tour as well?
Yeah, I've done a couple of Do Tours.
Yeah, so I guess I had that image in my mind, so I kind of was just feeling like maybe you were going to be more like, no, train, coach, like focus, win at all costs.
No, I was.
But you're not like that.
I was like that when I was younger. And then when I was about 19, I went to this event in America by myself. I think it was like one of the first events that I didn't go with like a parent or some. Actually, no, I went to heaps, but like I'd always go with like a team or someone. And this trip I went by myself, and it's like this weekend in Seattle, which is like just like a whole group of pretty much like, I think it's like all girl skaters and non-binary skaters, and it's just like this huge like weekend of like almost like King of the Roads. It's just like challenges you get to do and meet all these different skaters, and it was so much fun. I remember going there and being like, wow, there's actually like so much more to skating than just competing. And that really was like an eye-opener to me. Like I still loved competing and obviously continued doing it, but it was just really sick to see like there's so much more to it than that, I think.
Yes.
Was that called Skate Witches?
Yeah. Yeah, the Skate Witches.
I remember seeing the clips and seeing that article of that. I remember thinking that it had changed you. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool seeing Poppy hanging out with these guys and mucking up. And, like, they were doing sort of, like, King of the Road type challenges.
Yeah,
like,
it is pretty much. You get a little team and there's all these challenges, and it's basically like whichever team can do the most. Like, they'll have a list of things, and like there'll be stuff on the list that you get more points for. Like, one of them was get like a Ryan Sheckler tattoo, and obviously like that's gonna get you heaps of tattoos. I remember there was this like one person that got the full Sheckler like over their whole back. Like it goes pretty crazy. It's really fun.
When I used to trip out on King of the Road where, dudes were getting Thrasher tattoos. I mean, I'd probably get a Thrasher tattoo maybe, but still I'm like, wow, you're just going to get like a handwritten Thrasher tattoo just because, like, I don't know. It's commitment.
Yeah. It is commitment. There's a fine line with like Thrasher, I feel like. Definitely a tattoo. I don't think I'd ever get a Thrasher tattoo, but like even with clothing, to be like a poser, I feel like that, because there's just so many people these days that just wear Thrasher stuff because they think it's sick, that have like, I don't know, just basic girls that have no idea about skateboarding or stuff.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a fine line with some of the like, I think Thrasher.
I've got a question for you. I don't know how to ask it. Do you feel like you've experienced sexism?
Not too much. I feel like because I followed the path of what non-skateboarders want to see a female doing in sport. Like, I was long blonde hair, feminine. Like, I ticked all the boxes, so I didn't experience it too much. Like, there were definitely
How interesting though.
Always like, I mean, I did, because like growing up, all the competitions were different. Like, for example, my first like competition that I went in, a pro event, I won, and it was at the time the biggest competition of the year, and I won $8,000, and the men's won, I think it was like anywhere from 16 grand to 32. Like,
wow.
And we just thought it was normal. We didn't. I feel like we didn't even. Yeah, it was almost like we didn't even fight for it that much, because we just thought that was like our self-worth in a way. It was like, oh, we're just like not
that's
that
all we
good.
deserve.
Yeah, kind of. It was weird. And now that everything is equal, and like the Olympics had a big part in that, because if you want to be an Olympic qualifier, you need to have an equal prize purse between the men and the women. And then once that started, everyone started, like, especially all the females, we started getting even better because, I don't know, we started believing in ourselves more or something. Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
We're of value.
Yeah.
Like, people want to watch us.
Yeah, so I definitely experienced sexism and stuff in different ways, but I was lucky in the sense that I ticked some of the boxes, which I know like a lot of my friends and stuff maybe, I don't know, don't. Like, I definitely went through a stage where I kind of rebelled and cut off all my hair, and I was like, I just had grown up kind of fitting the box and stuff. And actually when that happened, that's when I started like maybe experiencing it a bit more.
When you cut your hair?
Yeah.
How strange.
Yeah.
So you're kind of saying like because of the blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin, you were more like,
I don't know.
what's the word? Like palatable. Like it was easier for people to.
I don't know. I feel like that definitely played a role in it, because for like companies or like, I don't know, I did a lot of like interviews and news things outside of skateboarding leading up to the Olympics and for other comps, and they were like, oh, here's this really presentable girl that can like do interviews really well, and like we've never seen like, or not we've never seen, but like there's not, people just have this stereotypical idea of skateboarders and what they are. So I don't know, I did a lot of interviews and stuff, and I don't know, that could have had some sort of part.
Have you got sponsors outside of skateboarding, like brands that are not skate company or skate related?
Currently, no. I definitely have had some weird ones in the past. Like at the Olympics, I was sponsored by Optus and Visa, and like I've had like different like soft drinks and all kinds of random things. But currently at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just curious because they're corporate. I'm always really curious to hear what those kind of conversations would be like between a skater and a corporate organisation like that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I don't know. My mum's kind of like been my manager for a little bit, like during the Olympics and stuff, because I get lots of random emails and corporate stuff, and I just honestly have no interest in it whatsoever. So she kind of just like does it. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's some weird ones like coming out for skateboarders. Like it's almost like there's some of these like kids that they're skaters, but they're just marketed like they're from a completely different sport or something. It's weird. It's getting weird.
I'm so, Jeremy, I know you feel the same way. Like I'm so all for skaters making money. And if it has to come from, if it comes from corporate, great. It's going to go to somewhere. I'd rather see it go to skaters any day of the week, you know, especially because of the nature of skateboarding, like skaters break themselves. Like, I mean, straight away your first story was about how you just, you know, slightly leant too far forward, bailing a backside air and just put your head open. Like, you know, it's just so undercompensated for what they do, you know. So it's rad.
Yeah.
Let's rattle off your sponsors now. Let's go. Who you riding for?
All right. So I'm Flow for OJ Wheels, Independent Sunday.
Sick.
And then I'm sponsored by Warble. That's my board company.
Have you got one, Jim?
No, I want one.
Yeah. Warble, and then Dickies, and then Ride TSG, and then Vans, and hopefully I'm not missing any. I think that's it.
So let's go back to Bondi Poppy, who just first started skating. Like, did you want to get sponsored as a little skate rat?
Yeah, I think all little kids kind of want that.
And fast forward now, like when you get some free stuff in the mail, how does it, like, do you pinch yourself still? Like,
yeah, I'm like act exactly the same as like when I got my first box of stuff. Like, I feel like even like when if I'll go to America or something and I'll like see my friends, like, I don't know, not even like my friends or just like professional skaters like getting packages, and they just like could not care less. They just open it up like, oh yeah. But whenever I get a box, I'm so excited, even if I know what's in there. Like even if I ordered it, I'm just like, there's something about getting a package that is so like exciting.
Christmas morning.
Yeah. Love
Christmas
it.
packages. It's so interesting. I'm really like, I just keep reflecting on what you said about when you cut your hair. And then the vibe changed. That's so interesting. God, like, I'm going to say this, but God, we live in such a superficial.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. That was definitely a shocker for me. Like, kind of, like, grew up kind of playing this pretty, like, perfect mold to, like, non-skateboarders and stuff. And then I didn't even rebel. I just wanted to try new things and was discovering myself. And it was funny. I'm pretty sure like the first year I cut my hair, I didn't get like any, like usually I would be doing interviews and getting all these weird jobs and getting paid for doing like skating stuff. And pretty sure that year I didn't get like any jobs or like anything. And it was just like a real like, whoa, this world is crazy. But also like I have lots of, so many of my friends that like lean to the more masculine side or don't, I don't know, dress how like the society thinks a standard typical beautiful women should dress. And it kind of gave me a better understanding of like what they feel like just even being, I don't know, in skateboarding in the industry is definitely an eye-opener.
How do you feel about social media?
I think it's like, it can be negative in some ways, but there's also like, there's a lot of good stuff about it too. Like I've met so many of my friends today through social media. Like the girls skateboarding has grown so much, but before when we didn't have anything or I didn't really have many girls that I would skate with, I could look on Instagram and find new girl skaters and like look at their clips or like, I don't know, just discover all these new people and message them and go to a new country and like meet up to skate or like there's so many positives on there, I think, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've been talking about it a bit lately. I get conflicted with it, but then I must admit I've had some beautiful DM conversations from random people and connected that way, and I would have never connected otherwise. So I am trying to, like manage it better, you know.
Yeah.
You were saying like your mum's your manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so both your parents have been really supportive there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you like when you were in high school and starting to get more, I guess, predominant and stuff, was there some apprehension around you being in the public space by both of them? Or were they just like, go Poppy?
Not really. I don't think I was obviously like placing pretty highly at comps and stuff and doing like well for myself, but I wasn't like this crazy big figure, or at least I never thought I was. Like I've never really thought I was at any point in my life, so it's kind of just like normal for me. And I didn't really ever have any trouble with it. It would just be like if some of the boys knew that I skated and thought it was sick, like it was pretty chill.
And you finished year 12?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I went to this really good school in Newey.
What's it called? Do you
The
want to
Big
say?
Picture School.
I've actually done some work there.
Yeah.
I love
so good.
That is the most progressive education model in my opinion. I think all schools should go that way.
Yeah, me too. It's awesome.
What did you like about it?
So I always wanted to go to uni, and there was just no way I was going to do that with my schedule. And, you know, I'd either have to pick skateboarding or stop skateboarding for a bit and just finish school. And the Big Picture has like this kind of, their format is completely different. They're all based around like the students' interests, which is really cool. So I could like have a project every month. Like say 1 month I wanted to make a skate video, and I just have to figure out how I incorporate like all these different things like math and English and like into the creating this whole project that I would want to do. And I could do it outside of school. So it's all just like based on what you want to do, which is really cool because the students are like so passionate about what you're doing. And like, because I sucked at math and science and I couldn't sit still. I would just not want to do any of them. And it's not like I'm really going to need them in my career paths anyway. So the Big Picture was really cool for me. My little sister goes there now too, and she loves it.
It's rad. Have you heard about it, Jim?
Yeah, I remember when you went there.
Yeah.
It seems pretty progressive. And there's all of the students, there's like really talented musicians and artists and stuff like and painters, actors.
Yeah, I liked it because it was a bit of a mix of everyone. Like,
so cool.
Everyone was a bit weird, and I loved it.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
Because it was bringing all these kind of creative, like unique individuals together, and it actually like made me learn a lot of stuff about myself and like forward thinking and being really progressive.
And you vibed off each other?
Yeah, because
so sick.
There's also like a lot of kids at the school, like a lot of them had these amazing like talents and interests, but a lot of them were also like pretty bullied and didn't fit the mainstream schooling. So it was really progressive for me in the sense that I like got a better understanding of like all these different humans, and I think it just kind of made me a better person, I think, and standing up for bullying. And it was just good.
Like it created, like it built empathy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
really
rad.
cool. Like even my sister, like I love her, but she's like a little shit. And like after going there, I feel like she's I don't know, she's so progressive now and calls me out on things too. And I'm like, wow, like, yeah, that's what I was like when I went there.
I don't know. I just find it funny that, like, I'm with you 100%. But it's funny because I see some of those students and it's like they're regarded, oh, that's progressive, but like they're labeled as progressive when it's like, does it need to be labelled like that? Like let these young people be who they want to be. And that's what I found about the place is it nurtures the individual. And I think that time in a teenager's life should be all about just discovering who they are. And that system that you were talking about lets you be who you want to be and focus on a central personal interest project that you're really interested in. Yeah. You know, and you don't have to work within a scheduled block hour by hour period of time. You can just work at your own Well, that's what
Yeah.
I sort of noticed, that there was no bells, school bells and stuff. You just go there and you work, and you're not having teachers are there as facilitators to help you with what you need,
Yeah.
not telling you what to learn, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you're in your one classroom for like the whole time you're there, and you have your one advisor, and you call them by their first names. Yeah, and it's just super chill, and you have your desk, and you can put all your art up and bring your own chair in, and it's just like so comfortable. And I don't know, I was always hyped to go there and be in my own little space and do art and just like I don't know, work on what I wanted to do, like my own project, and then feed off all these other creative people at the same time.
Yeah.
So cool. How did you find out about it? How did you have to apply?
My principal actually told me about it.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember he was talking to me one time. He was like, this might be something you're interested in just as like another option. Might be something you're not, but he had a bit of a talk to me about it because he knew with like the skateboarding I was so busy. And I'm pretty sure I had a look at it, went into the school and like moved like 2 days later.
wow.
Like I was a big mover, like never said goodbye to anyone, just dipped.
Really?
Yeah, with all my schools, I was just like, okay, I'm going in 2 days.
Okay.
ya.
Just go.
It wasn't like this big, like emotional.
No,
it
yeah,
just
I think
moves on.
I don't think I like goodbyes. I've decided, so I just go.
Did you go to university though?
I went for a little bit.
You got into uni.
I did.
That's another thing. Sorry to cut you off there,
No,
Poppy.
no.
It's just like you can learn that way and
Yeah.
and still gain entry to university. And universities are becoming more savvy to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I must admit, like, because I still feel passionate about public education, about education in general. And
Yeah, me
so
too.
I see the current model is just so archaic. Like
Mm.
even those little idiosyncrasies of having to call a teacher by their surname, like just
Yeah.
call them by their first name.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, the teacher wants to wear a t-shirt to work. Like, why do they have to
Yeah.
wear a shirt and tie? Like, yeah, dress nice, but why can't the teacher express who they are as an individual as well?
Yeah.
You know,
It's, and the HSC
just
is
little things.
so many things. I feel like.
Well, I'm sorry, I want to put them out there. This is what shits me about the HSC, and I'm a high school teacher.
Yeah.
So, oh shit, did I just turn that off? So little things like, students are expected to use laptops and computers for all their learning, but then the actual HSC exams are handwritten. Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just so glad I didn't have to do it.
You didn't have to.
No. That's like the
gotcha.
whole one of the main like reasons I went there is because you can get into university without doing the HSC.
I got you. Sorry.
Yeah. So like you have your year 12 project, whatever you want it to be. I did an animation that was like a couple minutes because I love drawing and animation, and you do all your theory behind it, and it's all educational, but then you're also doing this kind of creative side. And so you have this big project, and I had my portfolio with everything that went into creating this animation, and then that's what you present in front of the university people pretty much. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Such
it
a
was
better
good.
way to do it.
Yeah.
But you were done with uni once you tried it out. You were like,
No, I
wasn't feeling
really liked it. I just was traveling. It was like the year before the Olympics or
oh,
something.
got you.
And I didn't go for that long. It was probably like
A semester?
it was probably like 7 or 6 months or something. And I was doing it part-time, but it was just like a lot to think about with how much I was traveling and stuff. So I deferred, and I haven't been back in like 1 or 2 years, but I'm keen to go back, but I'm still traveling so much that I'm like, okay, I've got it there. I can just like kind of go back when I want to.
Yeah, that's good. It is always there too. Like
Yeah.
it's not the be all end all too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about like there's this again societal, I guess not pressure but norm. Like you have to transition. We're very much programmed in Australian society to either transition to like some sort of qualification that leads to some sort of job, whether it's an apprenticeship or a university degree that leads into some sort of profession. I really feel like we're not nurturing entrepreneurship enough. Like, why aren't we telling young people more to start their own business?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whether it's an art business. Like I've got friends that their sole living is through art, and or it could be filmmaking or whatever they're like really into. Because there's opportunities for it, but I feel like we're still trying to breed a society of worker drones. And I don't want to sound like I'm down-putting anyone that is a worker drone, because I guess I'm one as well. And there's a lot of noble things about that. But I don't know. I just want to encourage more entrepreneurship. You got an idea, turn it into something.
Yeah. Well, I'm big on that too, because that's how I funded all my trips to America when I was younger.
How? What'd you do?
I started my own art business.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't know you sold art.
Yeah. I have a website and everything. It's like my side hustle.
And you actually were selling?
Yeah.
Because I know it's a tough gig.
Yeah, no, I started making like little greeting cards. It originated because like in primary school, everyone would buy these little kind of crappy like Christmas cards and hand them out to your friends where there was like a puppy or something saying Merry Christmas. And I was like, everyone's doing the same thing. I'm going to draw my own stuff and give them to the teachers. And then everyone liked them so much, I started making them into art and doing little markets and stuff. And then my mum's best friend started this company called Club Kidpreneur, which is basically what you
should. I didn't know. I didn't even know that.
And so it was like one day of the week you would go in, and it had, it was a long time ago now, but it had like these 3 steps. It was like ready, set, go, and it was about starting. First was an idea, like finding what you're passionate about and building this idea of what you want to sell and what your business is, and then getting it ready and then actually doing it. And so we'd do that. We'd plan out, kind of learn about business strategies and what we liked. And I did it with my brother and a couple of my friends. And and then we'd build up to having a market, and we'd sell our stuff at the market. It was really cool. Yeah.
So
really
you were like self-funding your skate travel at first. That's so rad. Do many people know that?
I don't know. I think a couple of people do. It's still like I'm still doing it.
You're still selling art?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've actually got an art and jewelry show tomorrow.
Have you? Yeah. Well, tell us about it. Like, how do you do it? Like, how's it presented to people?
At the show?
Tomorrow. What's going on tomorrow? Like,
basically, so this is kind of like a thing that my mum used to do all the time, and then I started getting into art as well. And it's basically just we invite all of our friends and create pieces and artworks, and my little sister's doing it too, and we just kind of present it all out, and everyone comes and looks and they see if they want to buy anything.
From your house? Just from your house?
Yeah. I just came back from like setting up at the house. There's like all these tables set up, and we just have all our stuff. I'm going to put our art on the walls and stuff. And
see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's entrepreneurship, and it's not that hard. Like, one of my best friends lives in California, and he's lived in Australia too. He lives in California. He's like, he sent me a video. Check this out. Like, some dude just set up a barbecue in his driveway and started making tacos on the barbecue. And as people walk past, he's just selling tacos, not for any reason, but just to earn a living.
Yeah, I think.
Like, I don't know, just
like
making money.
Stand.
Like a lemonade stand. Like, it's entrepreneurship. Like,
I think people, I don't know. Definitely, like, when I was younger, I think you have this idea of, like, being an entrepreneur is something really difficult. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but if you're passionate about it, it's super fun. Like, it's a really good way. I think it should be built into, like, school educating somehow. It's really good for, like, some kids to learn.
Yeah.
Does it feel like work?
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, creating because my parents definitely had a big part in it when I was younger, and, like, helping create a website and stuff. And then I was traveling a lot, so it died off a little bit. And now I've just really gotten into it again, and I'm doing everything, and it's super fun, like designing a website and figuring out everything and your profits, and it's great. I love it.
Maths, science, design.
I'm still doing it, the basics.
Yeah.
I find like with your art, over the last sort of few years, it's really refined.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Like I've been a fan of your art for as long as I've known you, but just lately, those really tiny, really detailed little graphics.
Yeah.
Like that's a real cool style that you just seem to have focused on. I love it.
Thank
How
you.
did it come about?
I don't know. I kind of have always been into trying everything out. Like, I've got so many hobbies, and then when it comes to art, I've got always, every single day, I'm seeing something on Instagram or something else that I want to try, some sort of style of art. Yeah. And I've kind of tried them all, but like fine detailed drawing is like my favorite, what I've been drawn to the most. I think it just comes with trying everything for me.
Really enjoyable.
Yeah.
And
love it.
do you have a plan? Because I know I see sometimes it sweeps across like a star, a animal, a thing, and it all sort of blends in together in this endless pattern.
I get asked this question a lot. Sometimes I have a plan, but even when I have a plan, it looks nothing like what I've envisioned. You know.
Yeah. And do you have to wear glasses when you do it? Because they're so tiny.
No,
That's so
just
rad.
really little. Like even a lot of the stuff I've been drawing for tomorrow is like a lot smaller than my fingerprint.
Yeah.
Like on these little key
can't wait to see
rings and stuff. Like just I don't know. It's kind of like Zen. Like you just get in and you can just focus on drawing. Yeah.
Well, I like it. It's really recognisable. It's a real poppy art.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Are you going to put it on one of your boards?
Hopefully.
Oh, come on.
One day. I've only had one come out, but I don't know. Hopefully I get to design. I know I will be, but yeah. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait. I want one.
Thanks.
So rad. I love that so much. Yeah, Poppy, I'm so inspired by that. I didn't actually, again, these podcasts trip me out. Sometimes I think they're going to go a certain direction, but I did not think we'd be talking about education and entrepreneurship. Stuff.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest.
You know, I don't, like, you're a skateboarder, and I always struggle with calling skateboarders athletes, but you are an athlete. So do you have any sort of, like, regimes that you do to look after your body or stay fit?
Yeah, so I actually struggle with that too, calling skateboarders athletes.
Artists?
I don't think of myself as an athlete, but then, like, kind of when I'm not skating, maybe more so when I'm doing all the other stuff that involves going to the Olympics or competitions. I don't know. Yeah, maybe an artist. I don't know. But yeah, I go to gym like 3 times a week, and with some of it's actually me and like 6 surfers. Like there's some pretty good ones. Is like you surf, right?
I do surf, yeah.
There's like, do you like Ryan Callahan and Craig Anderson and Jacko?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just like a little group of us. And
Ando's actually one of my favourite surfers of all time, to be straight.
Yeah. So it's just like a little group of us and Philippa Anderson, and we just all kind of work together, and it's super fun. And I do that 3 times a week. Yeah. My latest hobby is rock climbing or bouldering, so I do that, every second day.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Where's all the boulders at in Newcastle?
Oh, I go to Pulse and Adamstown.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm just actually hooked. Like,
Is that where Ando goes? Because I'm not going to stalk him in any way.
I think it's just me. I brought Philippa there once, and Ellie, my other friend, who go to gym with me. But I'm kind of just like the crazy one who's been going every other day.
That's so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, like, so why do you feel like you want to train with surfers? Because they actually train. Skaters don't.
It wasn't like something I chose. It kind of just happened. Like when I was younger, I started coaching with this guy, Adam Tripass, who's our like trainer. And it was just kind of me at the time by myself for a little bit. And then it was Ryan was there for a little bit too. And then it kind of just grew. And I think there's maybe like 7 of us or something.
Rad crew. Yeah, that's – you got a call there?
Ended. It's on Instagram.
Like a random Instagram call?
Wow.
It's my friend.
Oh, I was going to say, I had a random call me on Instagram. Like, my phone's ringing. Instagram's calling me, and it was just a random.
That's so
weird. I've got
weird.
a public account. I'm not like, I don't have a huge following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it was
weird.
a bit creepy. Wow. Yeah, no, that's so cool. I really love, like, those 2 surfers you mentioned, like, because I've always considered myself a skateboarder first, but surfing has been a big part of my journey as well. But, I mean, Ando is a free surfer. you know, and And if we talk about like creativity and style and like surfing being an art form and not competitive, like I think he really epitomizes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just he makes just standing on a surfboard sideways look so beautiful. Even when he's just standing there, it's just crazy. I think it's the long hair.
Yeah.
Like you have to have
awesome.
long hair to be a free surfer.
helps.
Yeah, it's so good because like there's a couple of them that just are free surfers, but then most of them compete. Like Philippa is one of my best friends, Craig's sister, and she's amazing too. But Craig is like kind of the newer one to the group. Like he's been there, I don't know, a couple months or something. So it's really cool because I surf a little bit, but just like watching his clips and stuff is very artistic. The way he surfs, it's really cool. Free surfing's awesome.
Yeah, like he's not trying to get points for his turns. He's trying, like every aspect of that turn has been so refined, so it's so aesthetically pleasing, and that's so cool.
Yeah, I really like Craig. I think like another reason too is you can tell he's kind of like artistic. Like sometimes he'll come in, I don't know, with his nails painted, or he's just a bit like quirky sometimes. And surfing is even worse than skateboarding when it comes to like fitting the molds, because like long blonde hair sort of, I feel like it's in front of skateboarding by like 10 years. We always used to say it's in front of skateboarding by like 10 years when it comes to quality and like and prize purses and stuff. But I also think it's behind skateboarding when it comes to like women and like this certain look that you have to get sponsors and
like
stuff.
Inclusivity.
Yeah. And fitting an image to get representation, I think.
Yeah, okay, got you. Who are some skateboarders that you really admire and look up to?
There's heaps. One of my friends, Nora Vasconcelos, yeah. I've looked up to her since I was like little, and now she's like one of my good friends. I have heaps. Nicole House is one of my good friends too. Haley Wilson. There's actually so many.
Well, what's the commonality amongst those then? Is it their style? Is it their personality? Like what's drawing you to those characters?
Barbiana Delfino, she's sick as well.
Yeah,
sick. I don't know. We're all such good friends. I feel like too. Like when we're all in the same place, we all get together and skate. I think the similarity is like we all just love skateboarding too much. Not too much. So much. Maybe too much. I don't know. And they're all just like confident in themselves, I think, and are so creative with their skating and how they present themselves. And like a lot of those girls have done all of them have done competitions before, but now they're more like filming based, and they've kind of tried it all. And yeah, I don't know. They're all just sick.
They're just cool humans.
Yeah.
Just good humans.
Yeah.
Egos?
Really good. No egos. Nah.
Is Nora like a leader?
I think so. I think there's like so many like younger girls that just like have Nora skateboards or Nora merch and want to be like her.
Sick.
Yeah.
She seems pretty cool. Seems like, is she the one, like when you're hanging together, is she the one that's sort of leading the group? Hey, we're going to go here and let's do this and let's skate this place?
I think, a little bit. Like, I think so. I think she's terrible at messaging back. I will say that she's always on some crazy program doing whatever like she has to do or wants to do, I think.
Yep.
So it definitely, when we are together, she definitely has a plan of what we're doing, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's a super creative artist too, isn't she?
Yeah, amazing artist. I think that's also another reason I looked up to her so much when I was younger, is because she's heavily into art and surfing, and we have a lot of the same interests, and especially when it comes to art as well too. I find we're talking about art more than skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
I find Nora, I love her because I love those sort of weird skaters like Neil Blender and Gons and that.
Yeah.
They're just, their sort of quirkiness and their unusual behaviour seems to come across in the magazines and all of that. And Nora just seems to be one of those classic skateboarder people that are really interesting.
Yeah, and I think, she is so creative in every aspect of her life, and it really like shows in her skateboarding and her like clothing style, and I think that's just that is really awesome. And she also like stands up for things and is not, I don't know, she's not afraid to be completely herself. Like she's so quirky and weird and the best, and she just embraces it.
You said standing up for things. That just made me think, in competitive skateboarding, is there like a union, for you guys?
The Skate Australia, that's not like a union, is it?
No.
Because I was just thinking, standing up, like imagine if there was a contest where there was something there that wasn't unsafe or some conditions that weren't right, like no water or no shade or stuff like that.
Right.
Imagine if there was someone.
Yeah. I guess you would go through your like kind of governing body if there was something about that. But I'm pretty sure there is some sort of little thing in World Skate, like at the comps.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely like, I don't even know the name of it, but I'm pretty sure it exists.
Okay.
But
cool.
yeah, it's definitely interesting because there's in park skateboarding especially, it's still pretty like black and white, and there's a lot of things that are said that shouldn't be said, and it's just pretty behind.
Okay.
So I've been kind of trying to educate some other people a lot lately, and so yeah, it would be good to have something to move forward with.
Yeah, the Skaters Union. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, for some reason, I feel like there is one emerging. I thought Skate Australia did that stuff though. They just dish
probably
out the
do.
Olympic funding, don't they?
I know World Skate has something like that because I talked to one of the members at the last competition because of all this. There's just like a lot of kind of just like, I don't know, like there's a bit of homophobia tossed around and sexism and like different things at competitions that I didn't realize was still going on until I started doing this Olympics again. So
Right.
yeah.
So I didn't clarify. So are you on trajectory to actually qualify for Paris?
Yeah.
You
I'm
are?
doing the comps, yeah.
You are doing the comps.
Yeah.
Are you getting assistance from the government though with that? Or is it all self-funded?
It just depends where you're ranked. Like I get a little bit for the comps, but if I was like in the top 3, I'd be getting a lot more funding.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
like where you rank. Like I still don't get like flights and a com. Like everyone kind of has to pay most of their way, but there's a little bit.
Yeah, that's what it takes. But it's like that in most sports, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting. What an exciting time in your life.
I know. It's a lot going on.
So what's next for you in terms of like in the next sort of, let's say 5-10 years, where do you see yourself? Still doing what you're doing, you think? Or is that just a tough question?
Not still doing what I'm doing, I don't think. I think after this Olympics, I might, who knows, I might do it and be like, wow, that was awesome and it's fueled my love of competing and it comes back stronger, but I don't know, I just don't feel like competing against like 12-year-olds. Like the next circuit is going to be even crazier and I'm like, I really want to go down the filming route a bit more, like.
Sick.
Yeah, like
be a
free
filmer?
skating. No, well, yeah.
Filming trips.
Yeah, just going like trying to get on trips and stuff and just filming a part or something. I think that is just such a better representation of your skating. Like you go to the spots you want to go to, you film the tricks you want to do, pick the music. Like I love everything about it, and I also love filming and animating and like I don't know everything.
Like
So
something
cool.
that's going to stand the test of time as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
I see video parts as legacy pieces.
Yeah.
Especially as we get older. Hey, Jam, like, you know, if I go and watch like a video part from 1993, you know, I get tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh, wow, it takes me back to this certain time in my life.
Yep.
And so for you and for the people watching it, so it's a piece of history, right?
Yeah. And there's it's definitely growing a lot, but there's not many female skaters that have parts out there. There's definitely like a lot more now, but it's so sick. Like every time I'm just like bored at home or want to watch them skating, I'll just look up like my favorite girls and their parts on Thrasher or on YouTube or my friends that have made videos and stuff. And it's just so fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool. I love that, like that whole side of everything as well.
Nice. Just like reinvent yourself as a
Yeah.
filmer and filmmaker.
Yeah, I love all of it. I want to like skate and feel like be in videos, but I also want to film videos as well. Like I need some years to just do all that stuff without worrying about competitions, I think.
Yeah, you will for sure.
I'd love to see some of your animations in skate videos too. Like there's introductions and credits and stuff like that. So good.
Yeah. Are you talking about credits, the video, or are you just talking about credits in general?
Just in general.
Because there was actually a girl, my friend Shari White made a video for Vans called Credits, which was like predominantly female skaters.
Okay.
And it was kind of like the first big video that a woman had filmed, as well as having all like girls in it.
Cool.
So that was really cool. And that was called Credits, and that was the first video that I did animations for.
Okay.
Like I did all the titles and stuff and things
sick.
for that. So yeah.
Did you? That's so sick. Well, listen, Jem, for some reason you had a bunch. Did you have a bunch of questions you had for Poppy? I think you said you wrote some stuff down.
I took a couple of notes down.
Quick, let's get them out. Get them out.
You want to go get them?
Because we have had her on the hot seat. We have had you in the hot seat. I'll hold that for you, man. Yeah, and we'll, we won't keep you too much longer, Poppy.
No, that's all right.
Hey, I seen a little clip you did with Life Without Andy.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was
that recently?
fun. Yeah, that was like 3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, right.
That was fun.
What was the purpose behind it mainly? Just to check in. They wanted to, see
Yeah,
where
just
you're at?
make a little kind of day in the life video for Spotify. I think they were just getting like different creative people and making these little day in the life sort of videos.
It was
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
I love day in the life stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty
done
cool.
well. There's like there's a YouTube channel, Pocket Skate Mag. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I love how they do it. They just they just follow a skater around for the day.
Yeah.
And they mic them up so the skater skates with the mic on the whole
Yeah,
time.
I
And
like those. They're fun.
yeah, just really like raw, organic. It's fun.
I've seen one a while
Jeremy.
ago. It was like, what's in your car boot? And it was Molto, and he had a bunch of golf stuff and skateboarding stuff. But it
Oh,
was
that's
kind
a
of like
good one.
a little slice of their life, like, what's in the back of their car.
That's sick. I have cowboy boots.
Oh, cool. Sick. Well, I had some little points I put down. I'll bring up this one first because I'm a mad fan of skateboarding. Everybody loves Grosso. Were you friends with Grosso when you were going to the combi?
Yeah, that's what this G was
Oh,
for
dude.
Grosso that I stick and poked on my foot.
Love it.
It's a little
Is
G.
that a stick and poke?
Yeah, I just did it on
so
myself.
Well done.
Yeah, I was good friends with Grosso. Like he came, like when Vans Park Series was still a thing, he would come to all of those and he'd do like a lot of commentating, but then he'd also just like hang out with us and skate. And he like was so big in the girls skating industry at like Vans Park Series and those comps. He like always like stood up for us and just was like this, like the sickest role model. We all loved him to bits. He was so supportive of us and yeah, I loved him.
He loved those comps, didn't he?
Yeah, he loved them. One of my last memories of him was at this competition. Not last memories. One of my fondest memories is we were at this an exposure event, which is like a big girls skateboarding event, and I did this run, and I landed my whole run, and this other girl landed hers as well, and they announced me second, like on the podium, which I didn't care. But Grosso was in the crowd, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Sick.
Like in front of everyone, like all these little girls and everyone, and it was just like the best moment of my life.
wow.
And he came up to me after and he was like, that was rigged, like the fast plan, everything, and it was, and I had a bit of beef with the girl that won.
Oh, no.
Too, which I like didn't care that she won, but we were just like
I can't imagine you having beef with anyone.
No, but it's what made it so much nicer when he like came up and talked to me. I was like, yes, like he's
got
on
your
my
back.
side. He's
Put it
on
in
my back.
dispute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
so that
that's
was
cool.
sick.
That's the real win.
Yeah. No, I loved Grosso. He was the best. Rest in peace. He was
Rest
amazing.
in peace, what a
Yeah,
legend.
man, for sure.
Dude, the combi, the 2016 win to
Yeah.
the combi, what was that like?
Yeah, that was a whole experience. We talked about that a little bit before because of the prize purse.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it was awesome. Like that was one of my first trips to America was for the combi, and I remember like getting there, and there being like 7 girls on the first day I went there, and it was like a week before the comp, and it'd been the most girls I'd ever seen at a skate park, and it was like a week before the actual event. And I just remember it being crazy, and I made so many new friends. And the first time I went in the pro comp, I was 16, and I had no expectations. I was like just going, I guess it's like, the pro event, open women's or whatever it was, no expectations. And then landed my run, and they called me up first, and I thought they forgot me. I didn't even hear them say my name. And there's like some funny photos of me just like shocked because I fully thought they forgot me in the whole list, and then I ended up winning it, which is crazy.
So, rad. So they call out bronze, they call out silver, and you're thinking, oh shit, I didn't get nothing.
I'm like, damn, like they kind of, how did they miss me? Because it was funny.
I watched that live. That was very, very exciting.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. Was it your first run that gave you the score that got you the win, or second run?
I cannot remember.
There's a lot of good skaters in that.
Yeah, like I think it was Nora got second and Lizzie got third or something.
Right.
There was, because I remember Nora in that comp landed her first ever kickflip indie in the deep end. It was so sick.
Yeah.
I think, I remember it being, it's actually kind of funny. We laugh about it now because I think she was a little bit bummed because she made this kickflip indie and then didn't get first.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it now because, you know, Bryce Wetstein.
Yeah.
Her mum the other day at dinner, or it wasn't the other day, it was a little while ago, but we were all at dinner and Donna was like, wait, didn't you get second at that comp? Like, who was the little shit that beat you? Oh. And I was like, it was me, Donna. And then we all just started laughing. It was the funniest thing. But yeah, love him.
That was totally rad. Sick.
I love this. I love this, Jam. Keep going.
You like my little bullet points
host
there?
Jam, keep going. Look at you.
Like
a journalist.
Dude, I remember...
Put the mic in your mouth.
Sorry, dude. Here we go.
Be nice about it.
Another skate fan question. That's better. Pretty good mates with Tony, hey?
Yeah.
Tony Hawk, of course.
Yeah.
Dude, you got any cool Tony stories you want to share?
Cool Tony stories. Tony's just a G. I think like I get asked so many times like I feel like the top 2 questions are like, oh, do you know Tony Hawk or can he kickflip?
Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of people would just like, I don't know, have this idea because he's so famous. He's like one of the, if not the most famous skateboarder.
Easy.
And I think a lot of people are just like, oh, it'd be up himself, like a lot of celebrities or I don't know. But he's actually like one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. Like out of all the skaters, he has time for everyone and he's genuinely just so nice and supportive of like females and skateboarding, and he's inclusive and he's like very well educated and can speak really well and hold a really nice conversation, and he's just like an awesome guy to talk to.
Yeah, I bet. He's the best ambassador we could have ever hoped for, eh?
Yeah, he's honestly like perfect.
No, damn.
So good.
Yeah.
And he's been in the spotlight for so long.
Yeah.
Like, and he's not jaded by it.
Yeah.
Because he must get heckled sometimes. Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like when he used to come to Bolorama, just like
gets followed
getting
around.
out is like a swarm of people. It's the craziest thing.
Like that would be exhausting.
Yeah. Like I remember when I was like 14, I did like some vert demos and stuff with him at like the Grand Prix, I think. And the crowds that would come in and watch are just insane. But yeah, I love him. He's the best. I've been like, his house is like one of the coolest houses I've ever been to. He's got this full skate park and like a pool overlooking this super nice view, and then he's got all these sick skate artifacts in his house as well. It's like my dream. My dream house.
He would have some insane skate artifacts with him.
He's got the movie props too, doesn't he? He likes movie memorabilia.
Yeah, he's got everything. It's so cool. Yeah,
He's
he's
been in
great.
a lot of movies over the years, like little cameos here and there. Really,
Yeah.
when you really add it all up, there's been a lot.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
even going back to what was that one? The cop movie,
Police Academy
Police
4.
Academy 4.
That was a skate movie, man. when we were young.
But I just remember watching that as a kid, going, "Oh my god, I can't believe Tony Hawk's in a Hollywood movie."
Yeah.
Even back then,
Pretty cool.
yeah, that was insane.
You went to Halloween at his place one year, didn't you?
Oh yeah, when I think I was little. I was like 15 or 14
wow.
or something, and I was at Brighton's Zona's. One of my mates who skates as well. I was at her house, and I didn't have a costume, so I just like pulled all this stuff out of this dress up and tried to be Kevin Stab because there was like a blue wig and stuff. And I went, and it was super cool. Like in America, they get so into Halloween. It's crazy. And like every year, Tony has the like craziest outfits on.
Yeah.
I think, I haven't actually watched the movie, but he was a vampire from, I think some Australia, New Zealand, maybe actors in the movie. I can't remember, but he had 4 hours done of this crazy makeup
full
to
movie
be
makeup.
this crazy goblin vampire thing.
So, did you ask her this? You were on Birdhouse for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on
Did you ask
Birdhouse
that?
for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Super fun. Like, yeah, that was like dream come true when I got asked to be on Birdhouse. Like when you're little, you only dream of being on like Tony Hawk's skate team, especially being a transition skater. So that was super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. What a thing to have on your resume.
Yeah.
No. But I kind of get the feeling, Poppy, that you don't really care about resumes. And, yeah, it's really, really impressive. And I can just tell that your love for skateboarding is so profound, and it's well beyond maybe what I hate to say perceived you as being. So I'm sorry for having that perception.
No,
no.
that's okay.
Actually, I'm not sorry. It's more like it's getting to know you on a different level. Yeah. So, and it's just really refreshing. But like I said, for me, the thing I'm going to walk away from this conversation with is that you have this desire to coach the girls on skate culture that are coming through. And I love that you've actually thought about that and considered it. So
Yeah,
I think
hope
it's so important.
I hope I can have some sort of impact one day, but yeah, just keep it to like the OG roots of skateboarding. I think that's all we can try and do, really.
Sick.
That's a nice way to end.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Is there anything else you want to add, like before we wind it up? Are you happy?
I think,
Jam?
yeah.
Journalist Jeremy.
With my 5 bullet points.
I love it. All right. Poppy Starr Olsen, everybody. You